If we move across to the other side of the Atlantic, you'll go to Europe. Europe was obviously once the beating heart of Christendom. However, the continent has by and large become far more secularized, and is one of the most rapidly secularizing parts of the world to this day. However, there are some exceptions, like Poland, which is traditionally Catholic and by and large is still fairly devout. Other countries like the UK, Netherlands, and much of Scandinavia are by and large quite secular. This secularism has arisen the fastest in majority Protestant countries. However, there are some Catholic and Orthodox countries that still retain higher rates of religiosity. It's worth pointing out that many of the predominantly Protestant nations by and large still retain much of their Protestant work ethic that came from the faith they widely practiced in the past. It's also worth pointing out that much of Eastern Europe has seen a resurgence of religion in certain countries, namely due to the collapse of communism as a meta-narrative. As a result, in many countries like Russia, you have seen the resurgence of Orthodox Christianity. In other parts of Europe, you've also seen a bit of indigenous Islam, namely through Albania and Bosnia. You have probably already heard that there's a large Muslim immigrant population in many Western European countries as well. And this has elicited countless controversies, which I'm, let's just say, not going to get into. Speaking of this, there's actually another Muslim majority country in Europe that I forgot to mention, well, sort of European Muslim country, and that's Turkey. Turkey is overwhelmingly Muslim, despite being founded as a secular nation. This is because Greece and Turkey pretty much engage in mutual series of ethnic cleansings of Greeks and Turks from their territories. That is why over 95% of Turkey is Muslim. However, it is important to note that the modern Republic of Turkey is founded on secularism, as Ataturk, the father of the modern Turkish state, was vehemently non-religious. And you can see to this day that there are deep tensions between the secular Turkish nationalists on one hand and Islamists on the other hand.